This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN Network, and we're a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metal Summit Beaver Creek, which is being held virtually this year. Joining me right now is Victor Cantore. He is the president and CEO of Amex Exploration. It's a publicly traded company. I got two symbols for you, AMX on the TSX Venture and AMXEF on the OTCQX. Victor, thank you for joining me today. How you doing?
Well, thank you for having me. It's a real pleasure. Nice to see you again after almost 1 year.
It's always a pleasure. So, Victor, let's start off with a quick overview and history of Amex, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. So Amex has been around for a long time, actually. This property, the Perron property, has been in the company since the late 90s. A lot of smoke on it. There was Falcon Bridge was on it. Agnico was on it. And, back in 2018, finally, Jacques Trottier hit what he wanted to hit. He's our executive chairman. And that's where we go forward here. Since then, we've done, since 18 months, we've raised about $35 million. Eric Sprott has come in. He owns about 15 to 16%, commodity capital, about 8%, management 13%. We brought in also the Quebec institutions for about 4%, and the balance is other institutions and retail. And one thing to say about management, like we bought and paid for all our shares. I joined the company in December in 2016, and I bought and paid for all my shares either in placements or in open market transactions.
You know, last time we spoke with somebody from Amex was actually at Beaver Creek last year. So let's get some corporate highlights for the last 12 months.
Sure. So there's really been a lot of drilling. Since we've spoken last, we've actually drilled, had some really deep holes. We hadn't drilled yet on the eastern side of the high grade zone. There's a mafic dike that cuts the eastern gold zone. So on the first hole, on the first couple of holes already, it started getting back to some high grade, to some really high grade holes. We're all the way down now to, we're about to put in a hole about down to 1 kilometer. So that's just to show that there is mineralization that goes, that starts basically at surface and coming down. We've currently have four full gold zones that we're working on. So one of them is the central polymetallic zone. We have the Gratien zone, the Grey Cat zone, and also the Eastern Gold Zone, where there's a lot of focus on it right now. Since then, we've actually got coverage now from three different firms. There's PI Financial that started covering us with research. Laurentian Bank also. Laurentian Bank has a target of 525 on it. There's also Industrial Alliance Securities. So we've got three firms that, and we've been very successful. We've been putting out we've been putting out a series of holes every 2, 3, 4 weeks at the most. And they've been very, very successful, very, very successful drill holes, all high grade, very high grade drill holes.
So I think I might have asked this to Kelly last year, but I figured we might as well ask it again. You know, what would you say makes the company unique and different compared to some of your peers out there?
So we have infrastructure. So you can drive from Toronto or Montreal. You'll get there in 6.5 to 7 hours. You'll have water. Well, first of all, you have roads and highways that leads right to the core shack. You have water, you have electricity, you have cell phone service, like anything that you need is there. And we're in an historical mining town. Everybody's rooting for us to get a mine back up there and going. Housing for us is really amazing. Like we rent houses like basically $1,000 a month. They're houses that sleep at least 4 people, from 4 to 6 people. If we were in a mining camp somewhere, it would cost us $200 a day per person. Versus here, we pay $1,000 a month, and we have four people going. That's on the infrastructure side, because you still want a good location, good jurisdiction. Quebec is a great jurisdiction to work with. We have a great relationship with the First Nations. It's the Pikogan. the amount of high grade gold that we've been drilling, it's been quite impressive. I mean, I can give you a you know I can give you some of those results, which are really quite impressive. Just on the Denise zone, which is part of the Eastern Gold Zone. Last week we reported 8 grams over 14 meters, and that zone was a zone that we used to call the low grade zone. And this is pretty much at surface. On the other zones, I mean, the week before that, I mean, we reported 27.7 grams over 11.8 meters. Now you're looking at almost 1 ounce per ton over 11 meters. We had another hole at 12.7 grams over 16.6 meters, and this is something that we're expecting. These are the type of results that the high grade zone has been delivering. And high grade zone, grade is king. We should get a premium to, our stock price should start showing a premium to our peers.
And then from what you can tell us, Victor, what would you say are some of the company's value catalysts for the rest of this year going into 2021?
It's really more and more drilling. So one of the exciting things that we have coming up is we did some metallurgical holes, which reported some really spectacular numbers. And over the next couple of weeks, we're going to have the recoveries. That's really what you're looking for when you're doing metallurgy holes, is you're looking at the recovery. Now this is free gold, so we're actually expecting very high recoveries. It should be definitely way north of 90%. More drilling, defining the Eastern Gold Zone, expanding the other zones, expanding the Gratien, expanding Grey Cat, and then we've only explored about 2.7 kilometers along our faults. Like there's 15 kilometers of faults. When you take the high grade zone and you go all the way to the Gratien to the west, right now there's about 2.7 kilometers. So one of the other highlights that we're trying to do is we're trying to connect all that from end to end, and not only just connect it, we're going to expand it. So basically trying to making other discoveries, and we've basically looked at 2.7 kilometers out of 15 kilometers of very fertile land. So that's going to be really one of our catalysts. It's going to be drill hole after drill hole, positive drill hole after positive drill hole.
And Victor, where can our audience go and find all the information they need to stay up to date on Amex Exploration?
Absolutely. They can just come on the site. We're always up to date. The minute the press release comes out, everything is there. It's up to date. We have the corporate presentation, all the press releases. Everything's on site. The other thing that we also do is that if anybody has resource modeling software, all our drill holes are on sites, are right on our website. It's in an Excel form. If you've got, like, for example, Leapfrog, you can download it and create your own resource. And that's one other thing that we'll probably do much later on, is we're going to do a resource calculation sometime in 2021.
And that's www.amexexploration.com, correct?
That's correct. That's correct.
Very, very good. Well, Victor, with that, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. You stay safe. Good luck. And I look forward to our next update.
Thank you very much. You too. Stay safe.
Thank you. Again, my name is Robert Kraft. I'm your host on SNN Network, and we're a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metals Summit Beaver Creek, being held virtually this year. With me again has been Victor Cantore from Amex Exploration. He'll be there presenting for the company. And thank you all for listening today.
Thank you.